Hi students, when authors write novels or stories, they have to keep in account the age of the reader. It's very important to know the age of the reader, and that is why you will find that all fairy tales end in "and they lived happily ever after", or the Panchatantra or the stories for children always have a moral or a message or a happy ending. For teenagers, the mystery is always solved. When there are mystery or adventure stories, the mystery is always solved by the group. But there are some authors who cater to a higher group, and then the ending is always sometimes different. Sometimes the ending is sad. Sometimes the ending is unexpected and it leaves a question mark. If you take the story, The Lost Child, we always wonder whether in the fair the child found his parents, was he united with his parents or not. So there is always a question mark and it leaves you thinking. You have to find the answer. Sometimes the author gives you a total jolt at the end. You are shocked, you are surprised, you don't know how to react. Sometimes there is a twist, an unexpected ending altogether. Frederick Forsyth is one such author who has a twist at the ending. His stories always end with an unexpected ending. So today we are going to do Frederick Forsyth's story, The Black Aeroplane. The Black Aeroplane. The skies were clear and the stars were shining, and the narrator was traveling in his Dakota back to England from France. He was all alone. It was 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and he was waiting to be home with his family. So he was flying from France to England. Flying over France, the narrator contacted the Paris control and he said, "Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here. I'm on my way to England. Over." The voice from the radio also answered him immediately, and he was instructed to turn 12 degrees west. He checked his map and compass, switched over to his second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. He was on his holiday and he was traveling home. So he was very keen to be home, to be with his family and to have his continental breakfast, his English breakfast. See students, whenever we are away wherever we are, when we travel back, we long for our home food. That is home soul food, as we say. For us Goans, we love our sheep curry. For South Indians, they want their idli, sambar, dosa, rasam. So wherever you are, you want your home food. So the pilot and family. So the pilot wants to be home with his family to enjoy his English breakfast. Everything was going fine. It was an easy flight when suddenly he saw the storm clouds. He compares them to huge black mountains. He could not fly above them, and he knew he did not have enough fuel to fly around them. But he was so tempted to be back with his family and to have that English breakfast that he went into the storm. He took that risk and he entered the storm. And then everything went suddenly black. What happened when the pilot entered the storm? Everything was black. His Dakota was jumping and twisting in the storm. He couldn't see anything. His compass was going round and round, and it was dead. All his instruments were dead. He tried the radio. He tried to contact the Paris control, but his radio was dead. So there was no way of contacting, and so he realized he was lost in the storm. It was dark when suddenly he saw another plane flying very close to him. He looked to see that there was a pilot inside, waving to him and signaling to him. The narrator was so happy that there was someone there to guide him in this storm. He followed him like an obedient child and was happy that there was someone that would guide him through this terrible storm. And he followed him. Now he followed the pilot for about half an hour, and he started to get frightened again because he realized that there was enough fuel in the second and last tank to last him only for 5 or 10 minutes. So he got scared again. But then the pilot of the black aeroplane started to go down, and the narrator followed him, and when he saw a runway, there were lights and there was a runway. As soon as the narrator landed, he was relieved, and he went to the control center and asked a woman there who the other pilot was, as he wanted to thank him. She looked at him very strangely and laughed. She said, "Another aeroplane? Up there in the storm? No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar." After the pilot heard the woman's answer, he was surprised, probably shocked. Who was that pilot who helped him in this storm? The pilot who had guided him through this terrible storm to land safely. Who was he? Students, can you answer this? Who was he? Some questions have no answers.